He's going to be at the Improv. Actually, he was there last night.
Yeah, hopefully you caught him.
2 shows tonight, 2 shows tomorrow.
Yes.
Our good friend, comedian Guy Torry.
Guy Torry in the place to be got kicked out of Trump University.
Do we know Guy Torry well enough for you to call him good friend?
Yeah, man.
We've interviewed him like 5 times.
How many times I've been on yours couch?
Is it more appropriate though, for us
studio?
to say, we've interviewed this guy 5 times, and you know what? We're kind of friendly.
No, you know why it's good friend? Because we're all good people.
Yeah,
You say that about people you like.
Yeah.
You say my good friend, that means there's an affection there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like some people I've been knowing for a long time. I won't say good friend.
yeah, you're right.
That's true.
Yeah,
I got family members that won't call good friend.
That's true.
yeah.
Because I didn't know you were. I didn't know you were going to be here, and then Samantha, our producer, told us that you're going to be in town. And I always get excited when you come into town.
Yeah.
We interviewed you at our old studio twice.
Yeah.
And then I think twice
Here.
And then, is
Right,
this
3 times here. This is my 3rd time here.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like it is like 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, it's my 3rd time here.
Because you have like 2 or 3 signatures at my
the old spot.
At my old spot. Yeah.
And then
I still haven't painted over any of that. That's how lazy I am.
Don't be lazy. Don't paint over it, man. Keep it.
I don't want to paint over it. You know, I've got
Exactly.
I've got you and all these different comedians like that haven't been through in a while. You know, like
Right.
Nikki Glazer was in there, and you know, and then she blew up and went away, and we probably won't
Amazing
get her.
Jonathan was in there.
Yeah, Amazing Jonathan was in there. So we had a lot of people. I guess I'll just have
Does
to
that
cut-
happen a lot?
What's that?
People just blow up and just like, you know, they
Get
forget.
too big for us, yeah.
They get. I mean, but it happens.
Bert Kreischer did.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Well,
yeah,
it's like I don't get that. I guess I don't know. I just don't get that.
Well, I think they just their path is one step above. Like for instance, like if you're doing,
You can cover their ass if you want to. You know, I mean, come on.
Well,
let's quick kids. Look, man. Look, I just turned 50 this year. So
God damn, you look good.
I'm really,
Holy shit,
I'm
you look
really-
younger than I do.
Okay, well that just proves it. Ladies
I'm really
and gentlemen,
unfiltered, so I don't give a hell anymore.
You and Bill Bellamy are
I
fucking
swear to
vampires.
God, the whole black,
No, Bill's 70.
but that, you
But he
remember
looks good.
the whole black don't crack thing, all that stereotype. Look,
But we do smoke it.
But it's just true. It's just true. Look at him. Look at me.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
43.
Holy
He's
shit.
50. I look like a fucking old beat up gnome. Like an old dying garden
You
gnome.
look like a pig wizard.
Yeah, dude, I look like a big
wizard.
wizard.
Oh man, we need that cartoon.
Yeah. All right.
Oh,
well,
my
we'll
God.
get it. But no, seriously, you're not 50, man. That's
Who
bullshit.
lies about being 50?
I don't know. I don't. You're
That's
right.
60.
You're right.
Yeah, that's God damn.
Bill comes in here like Bill.
Bill
Comes in a diaper like he's a baby. He's so young, you know. Like
Yeah, Bill is always like well groomed and you know and you know the ladies love Bill.
oh yeah,
They love Bill. They've been loving Bill forever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
since the hot tub days. on
yeah. It's
MTV.
the hot tub days.
Since
yeah.
yes,
MTV Spring Break.
Yeah,
He'd
exactly.
be in a hot tub. He'd be introducing like a Belle Biv DeVoe video.
Right.
And he have like him and 9 girls
Right.
around him.
Right.
The 90s.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And I
Better
can't lie.
The
I
Clinton
can't
years.
lie.
Oh, how we missed them.
Well, it was Monday through Thursday they would do it, right? You know, like the MTV Live from Spring Break. And I
Yeah, yeah.
swear to God, I missed so much school. I'm like, Mom, I'm sick. I'd stay home. And then I'd just jack off crazy.
To Bill Bellamy.
Yeah, well, no. I mean, he was there, but that wasn't why. You know.
Got some jizz on you, Bill.
what guy? You've been doing this a long time. Speaking of the 90s, like what was the comedy scene like in the 90s, and what was the path? What was the business like? You're completely different.
It's funny because I covered that in my documentary that I've been, you all know I've been on this show several times and talked about the documentary.
Yeah.
It's turned into a a lot bigger than just my one little small comedy night, Fat Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Because what I wanted to do was lay the groundwork of why there had to be a Fat Tuesdays. And those of you who don't know, haven't heard the show, Fat Tuesday was a comedy that I created back in '95 at the Comedy Store in L.A. for black comedians because we were getting overlooked. So I took the hood to Hollywood and brought a black night, first urban night, really the most successful one in my eyes as well, in a white club anywhere in the country. So in order to tell that story, I started doing research on just the history of black comedy. It took it way back to slavery, honestly. Yes, we were shucking and jiving, trying to not get that whip.
Yeah.
So
like seriously.
Yeah,
I mean,
seriously.
like,
yeah.
I've read about there are roots of even certain words.
cooning, but that's what we call it back then, cooning, and some people still coon today, Ben Carson. But anyway, so anyway, Kanye West, Kanye West. So the thing about it is, I had to lay the groundwork, and when I started doing the history of black comedy, the 90s was when I started, of course, 92.
Yeah.
But Def Comedy Jam is what really kicked the lid off of all these black comedians that were in the hood and in these little speakeasies and all these little bars doing stand up, and Def Comedy Jam kind of brought us out of the shadows into the masses, into white homes with HBO.
Why did it take till the 90s? Because for me, it's like with Richard Pryor, the biggest stand up in the world.
But see,
before that,
but usually, and it's still kind of like that now, they only let one in.
Oh, really? Like
it's only like you can't be. Kevin Hart is not going to be here where he is, and then you have somebody on that same level doing the same numbers. Maybe a couple of rungs down, but it's just how it is, and it's still like that. That's kind of what the documentary covers too. It kind of goes from the spine of it is that things have never really changed. You start out with We Shall Overcome. And then you from We Shall Overcome, you got Can We All Just Get Along? And then from Can We All Just Get Along to Black Lives Matter.
Right.
It's that spine of, wow, same problem.
Yeah.
Different
verbiage.
name. It's the same wheel, just put some new rims on it.
Yeah.
But the same wheel. You're not going to reinvent the wheel. So it's kind of like that whole thing, which...
That's an excellent observation, man.
It's great. It's strange because it's when we thought we overcame, we didn't. It
was disappointing too. You know? I mean, for those of us that don't feel that way, or don't, I think it's very easy to go about your day-to-day life and not even realize something like that.
Until it hits home.
Sure.
Like crack wasn't a problem until it started going to suburban America. Then it's wait a minute, this is the problem.
It's not just in the hood now. Oh, okay, we have a problem.
So the 90s were great, man, because it was Clinton years. We had a surplus of money in the United States. It was this black sitcoms explosion, with Martin and Living Color and Living Single and all these black sitcoms and then box office success, and then Def Comedy Jam was like the comedy clubs started hiring, putting more black comedians in their weekend spots for headlining. So everything the 90s were great. I met Janet Jackson, saw her boob before the Super Bowl one. No, I was there for that one too.
Oh, twice.
Yeah. You had Tupac and Biggie going at each other, West Coast,
When
East
did you
Coast.
see her titties the first time?
I think that's an excellent question.
November 9th.
Oh, yeah, no,
I meant was it at an event
seriously.
at her house?
No, it was the day Clinton got elected into office.
Oh, I thought you were making a fucking joke.
No.
You know the date that
I know the date that I saw. Same date I met Tupac.
That's a good day. You got
that
some titties and Tupac.
And I went and voted
documentary.
And I went and voted for Clinton.
That's a win.
After that.
They happen in threes.
Yeah. I met Tupac, saw Janet's boob, voted for Clinton. Good damn year.
Yeah.
Welcome to LA.
Yeah, that's a fucking awesome. November 9th is a good ass day.
And what scenario did you see?
Areola, did you say? Oh, scenario. I just said areola.
Did you see Janet Jackson's boob? She flashed you?
Here's the thing. I moved to LA in August of 92, late August of 92. My brother just completed a movie, rest in peace, John Singleton, called Poetic Justice with Janet, Tupac, my brother, right? So we go to the set because they were doing some reshoots of a scene of Janet laying in the bed when the movie opens and she has her little negligee on or whatever. So she gets done shooting. We go in a trailer and my brother's like, hey, this is my little brother Guy, just moved to LA. He's doing stand-up now. She's like, hey, Guy, and then she had this little spaghetti strap little what you call it, the lingerie, what's
like
the
a nighty
a teddy on, right? The teddy was in the teddy.
Yeah,
so,
it's in the teddy.
And then the little strap kept falling
her teddy
down.
came out her teddy.
Yeah,
it's a teddy.
teddy. Yeah. So the strap kept coming down, and then she bent over to pick something up, and the boob said "boop," and I was like, and she just giggled and put it back in, and then
that's
I was like,
teddy Torry.
Yeah, and I was like. Man, titty Torry. Right.
And then you're like, this is what Hollywood's about.
Exactly.
Dude, I got to tell you, that's
great story.
almost an unbeatable day.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have to get a rundown on what you ate that day because, like, if you had something
Wasn't
amazing.
Janet, I wish it would have been.
I love me some Rhythm Nation. Remember?
Yeah, we were just talking
about that. We had black shirts on, and then we had we have new hats, and we had those hats on, and we look like 5, 4,
3, 2, 1.
Oh man, that was the shit. When
Yeah,
that came
man.
out, I was like,
Yeah, man.
this will never be any better than this.
And I just saw her again for the first time in a long time.
how's she looking?
She's looking good. She
Yeah.
she has her residency in Vegas that she started. But I did, I do the Tom Joyner Morning Show.
Yeah.
And the Tom Joyner Fantastic Voyage, which is a cruise that helps, HBCUs, historically black colleges and university. And she performed on the cruise. Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
can you
Damn,
imagine
Janet
going on a
Jackson
cruise and then, what's our entertainment?
He does the whole boat.
But wait a minute.
We only had Ryan Cabrera.
Yeah, we had Ryan Cabrera on our cruise.
It was Janet.
Didn't even.
7 people watching.
Didn't even register.
It was Janet, Maxwell,
Oh, I love me some
Holy shit.
Maxwell.
Maxie Priest,
Maxwell.
Charlie Wilson. And then you have all the other shows that go on from MC Light to Lady of Rage to Scarface.
Lady of Rage?
Well, Ghetto Boys basically.
Afro Puffs.
Rough and Tough, man.
Oh,
Let's
dude,
go on this
I
cruise.
want to go on this
Telling you,
cruise.
it was
I
a
love
great
Maxwell.
cruise.
I have fucked more to that first Urban Hang Suite album. That first
I
album.
toured with them.
Man, I love that guy.
I toured with Maxwell and Jill Scott.
I have
and
fucked
man,
more to that album than any CD. In fact, that's one of the only urban albums that I've I think I've bought that thing maybe 7 times.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
a
telling you
good
right now,
fucking album, man.
I was freshly divorced and on tour with Maxwell and Jill Scott.
Jesus Christ, you were probably losing your mind.
I know I was losing a lot of kids.
all over the carpet.
No, it was on their stomachs.
You're better than I am.
Well, I eat pineapple, so a
Yeah,
couple of them
you're
was
good.
digested.
You're good.
Um,
You're good.
I want to talk about Fat Tuesday for a minute because why weren't there any other like urban comedy nights? Like you would think
They were just not in those kind of clubs.
Not in mainstream clubs.
Yeah.
And
in
that-
an urban club, sure, but like,
But
that's not.
if the business, like, because obviously it's super successful, and then once everybody saw that, because here's the thing, most people just care about money. If they knew they can make money, they do it. So I
some
wonder
people-
why.
Just like some people put party over country, and some people put pride or their beliefs over money. And the thing about it was, it's like, and if the known thing about to black comics, if there was more than 2 black comics on a show, it could be a lineup of 10 comics. If it's more than 2 on a show, it's considered a black show.
It's like by the
Back in
club
the
or
day.
by the
but by the club. They would rarely put more than 2 black guys on a show together back then.
Wow. And what year is this?
This is up until maybe the Def Comedy Jam boom, and even a little bit after that.
Wow.
It's just and it was just I don't know if they didn't want other black people in the seats to see them because like something may happen, or it's just they didn't think we were relatable or whatever.
Yeah.
Because the stories of there's one thing where I interviewed Cheryl Underwood and interviewed a comic named D Militant, right? And D Militant says, short black comic, D Militant, just kind of tells you what his name was.
Yeah.
But the Comedy Store tried to get him to change his name to Whipsy Willie.
Oh my gosh.
Some corny cooning shit. He's like, no. And then Cheryl Underwood was like, look, Fat Tuesdays I love Fat Tuesdays because it was the only club where I can do comedy like a man.
Right. I think she said that on our show
Yeah.
before.
Yeah. And
Because we talked to her about that.
Yeah. And she was like, I didn't tell people what to do. And when I was doing the research for the documentary, Pryor struggled with that because Pryor was doing Cosby and was killing doing Cosby. And then he just got like, this ain't really me. He was making a lot of money and killing. Then he started doing, what turned into his signature. And they were like, no, do this. We don't want that, We don't want you to talk about what's going on with the civil rights or filth. And he gets frustrated. But, mainstream club owners have always tried to steer black comics in the direction of safe. That's why I don't do cruise ships. It's like, I can clean up if I want to, but I don't fucking want to.
Yeah.
I want to do me. And plus, now that I'm 50, I'm really doing me.
Yeah.
So, I made it already. I ain't need to kiss any more ass.
Yeah. What and like speaking of like 90s, because it's so different when you don't have the internet and social media.
It also it also doesn't feel that long ago.
It doesn't, and that was the thing about Fat Tuesdays. Like I had no money. I had been told when I started I was only doing comedy 3 years. I never ran a business before. When you're young and naive and dumb, you're just gonna go for it.
Yeah.
And I went for it, and there was no social media back then. I didn't have a radio budget, advertising budget. I had word of mouth. I made the flyers myself at Kinko's. You know, staying up to 3, 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
Card stock, cut and pasting, all that crap. So. You had to grind.
Was that the way to promote yourself as
Yeah.
flyers? Like just
it was
hand
like
them
for
out?
the night. Yeah, I just go to movie theaters and malls and see couples and say, "Hey, man, you should bring your pretty lady to comedy." You know, couples is like you put them on the spot for like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, you never take me out."
Yeah.
Smart.
So yeah, there was
That
a
is
hustle
smart.
to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Throw her a compliment.
Yeah,
you know, and then
man,
make him
you
look
gotta
like a
bring
hero.
this beautiful lady out,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
You gonna keep her in the house? Or sometimes I tell the woman, "When last time you took your guy out?" We take y'all out all the time. When last time you took your guy? When last time you said, "Hey, baby, it's on me tonight. I'm gonna take you out tonight." So sometimes you put it back on, and they're like,
Sure.
"You know what? You're right." And then boom, comedy. And women love to laugh. Women love comedy because they're at their most natural state when they're laughing. Their guards are down. And I've laughed many women out of their drawers. I didn't need a pill. That's why I don't understand why Bill Cosby needed a pill. You're a comedian.
That's a power move.
That's
Yeah.
a sickness.
That's a
weakness.
sick
Yeah.
move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something
That's a mental
different.
illness.
Yes.
I mean, look at me. We talked about this earlier. I mean, the only reason I'm married is probably because of humor. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
not.
I can believe that.
Yeah, I think most people. Yeah, I think most people can't. You know, that's just the way it is.
Same here.
Yeah.
I'm attractively challenged, man. And my ex-wife was beautiful. She's still beautiful, actually. But then once the jokes, she stopped laughing at the jokes. It's like, okay, I've seen this set.
Yeah, yeah. I think I'm going that direction. Yeah, pretty soon the curtain will close, and I'll see you in the green room.
Yeah.
Cold chicken
Sticky,
fingers.
sticky couch.
You say something interesting about passing out flyers because and not to sound like an old man here, but it does seem like and I want to know how you feel about this. With nowadays, like to promote yourself, you sit on your couch, you're like, I'm gonna be at the Orlando Improv.
Right.
Yeah.
Everything's promoted, it'll sell out, and
Right.
then back to TV. You had to go to Kinko's, print.
I don't think it's the same.
But I think-
put some time.
I
like,
think the hustle of the flyers
Yeah.
means more.
that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying it was
the-
harder work
Yeah.
back in the day.
But
than
I don't
now.
understand why people don't do both. And here's why. Because I was doing, when I brought my reunion show back for Fat Tuesdays a couple years ago, I was doing posters and flyers. And my business partner at the time was like, "Man, why are you doing flyers? Why are you wasting your time going to these barbershops?" And I said, because it worked then, it can still work now. Why not have the power of both?
Yeah.
Everybody's not on Instagram. Everybody's not on Facebook. Everybody's not on
True.
Twitter. And then for somebody for an ad to register, they have to see it so many times and hear about it so many times. So if you go to your beauty salon or your barbershop or your soul food restaurant and you see the flyer for my show, and then you go somewhere else and you come out and there's a flyer for my show in your car, then you see on social media, you're being reminded of it because now we live in such a diluted world and so much stuff going on.
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
going to forget. So the more times you see it, the more times it's embedded. Or say you see the flyer, I see it on Instagram, and somebody's like, "Yo, I heard about Guy's show. It was on Instagram. Oh, I had a flyer for it." So now you're talking about it, and
Yeah.
word of mouth spreads. So
Yeah, yeah.
I don't see why people cut off flyers and only do Instagram because it's lazier,
It
and
is,
we're living in a lazy
that's why they
society.
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
I
don't
mean,
wanna work
street
as hard.
teams are still important.
Yeah, and do you think? I mean,
Write that down.
that the up and coming comedians just because of the nature of the business and because of the nature of the world now don't have to work as hard as you did and the generations that
Well,
came
they
with
don't
you.
have to work as hard to get followers because now on Instagram, and I think we may have talked about this last time, but I could talk about it a million times. But they may not have to work as hard to get followers, but they still have to work as hard in their stage show. Nothing can replace being funny on stage. The repetition of going on stage, and that's why, and that's my issue, which I don't have an issue with millennials because I'm 50 going on millennial. So my thing is, as much time as you put into your social media, put into your stage show, because what happens is, say you come into a comedy show for the first time in your life, live comedy show. You've never been to a live show, right? So then you come to a live show, and you got somebody who was on social media who packed the room out, and they're supposed to do a 45-minute set. And after 5 minutes, it's crap. And now you're like, oh, okay, what else you got? And that's it. And what happens is now live comedy have potentially lost a customer.
Sure.
A repeat customer. Because now this is their version of live stand-up.
Yeah.
So when I go on stage, I make sure, and I'm trying to go balls to the wall.
Yeah.
Because I want somebody to come back and see Tony Rock next week, or Joe Torry next week, or Ernest J.
It's
the following
only going to
week,
help you.
and
Yeah.
DL the other week. Because it's like somebody can keep that club open until I come back the following year.
Agreed. Yeah.
And same thing with radio. There's some comics who go in the morning radio. Stop letting a lot of comics on because they come in half asleep. They're boring. They're not doing jokes. And then what it does is some radio stations across the country have stopped having comics on in the morning. Now, the ones that I've been there before, cool, we love guys.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
the ones who've never had me on, all they know is, man, the last 3 comedians mailed it in, and that sucks. We wasted 3 segments or 2 segments or 1 segment.
Yeah,
we could have had somebody else in there. So now what happens is, I can't talk, sell move tickets live because somebody else ruined it. So I tell young comics all the time, I said, look, if you don't like doing radio, then sell out before you get there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then you don't have to do it.
And you should still do it on top of that. But still, if you think you that badass, too big for radio, then sell out before you get there. Other than that, shut the hell up, get your ass up, go into the radio station, and be funny, fucker.
Yeah. It is. We've never had the bad experience with anybody from the improv. Like knock on wood, but
Yeah,
it's,
we're very lucky.
I mean, everybody's kind of.
It's a little more relaxed here.
And it's a little later in the day. Like I've gotten up, I had to get up at 5 sometimes.
Yeah, that's rough, man.
But hey, then sell out before you get there.
Yeah.
And the fact that you do that, though, I mean, like that, I think that's the reason why at 50 you can come in here and just be like, hey, here I am, because you still put the effort in.
I have to.
Like you haven't really taken the foot off the gas.
No, plus I only got 3 followers.
Yeah.
So follow me
true.
at Guy Torry, GUYTORRY on Instagram and on Twitter.
What's interesting to me, have always been interesting, is the morning TV hits.
Yeah.
Because those seem
Those
so
are hard.
Weird and awkward.
They seem very difficult.
Because the host, for whatever reason, it's probably because the time frame, who they have to be, how they have to present it.
Well, we even do them for like charity events and stuff like that. We'll go on the news, and talk to them about like whatever we're doing, and it's so fast.
Yeah, it's like a 3-minute hit or 2-minute hit, and then the whole thing is you're just like, who's watching this? It's like, does this movie
fucking
watch?
helping? What am I doing?
People watch. It's like, especially the soccer moms who are up getting their kids ready to go to school, or they just came back from dropping the kids off. But the stay-at-home moms and the soccer moms, they watch those shows. That's why you got to be particular who you book on that show. You can't. I tell young comics all the time, know your audience. Like I do everything from UR show to alternative rock to hip hop to gospel to talk to conservative to whatever. And you got to know who you're talking to. You can't go on a soccer mom station bashing women.
Yeah.
Nobody will be at your show.
Yeah.
You can't go on a soccer mom show defending Bill Cosby.
You have to know who's watching.
Know
what
who's
you're
watching.
on.
Know who you're talking to.
Yeah.
It's important to do that. Like I always ask. I always try to say, if I'm on the way to a radio station in the car, like, yo, turn to the station so I can kind of get the temperature of what they're talking about.
Yeah.
See what the line is. Okay, can I say, bitch, or can I say ass? It's like, if I don't hear that word, and then like, okay, well then no.
But imagine this: he's doing research. I mean, it's not.
Well, you're a professional, and you've been in this business for so long, Guy, that you just know.
God damn, we keep saying so long, like Bill Cosby.
No. I'm just saying, it's like
I'm messing with you, man.
When he got here this morning, he did say, I was like, who do we have today? And he said, Bill Cosby. And I said, that's weird, because I thought
he's on Twitter now.
I thought, he did.
No, that's OJ on Twitter.
But
Bill's too?
Bill Cosby tweeted from prison on Father's Day, calling himself America's dad.
What?
That's true.
You guys didn't hear about that?
Now, I will say this about Bill Cosby. He's still America's dad. Because he probably got a bunch of babies spread out throughout America.
You might have me there.
Hold on. How did he allowed to have a phone?
I don't know.
Yeah,
that's what everybody was asking. Like, how did he get on Twitter? It might have been a message he had relayed to like a handler or something. But
he probably got somebody controlling his account.
Yeah. You're right.
It's probably his wife.
Can't even
right?
see.
Are they still together?
I don't know.
I think they're still together.
How blind
but
is he
I don't
now?
think she's going on
How
Twitter.
blind is he?
Real blind.
He's
Oh,
real.
he also tweeted about Juneteenth.
Yeah, Juneteenth.
What
for
is
those who don't know,
Juneteenth?
Juneteenth is when it was the day that we were freed as slaves. The official
Oh, okay,
day.
that's right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Juneteenth is the day slavery was officially abolished, legally.
Can we give it a? I mean, shit.
I had said the same. I was like, why is it called?
It's always June
Juneteenth?
19th.
Okay,
So it's Juneteenth.
Okay.
It was we were freed, and then it took a while because the ships had to come in. It took a while for the ships to get to tell the message, hey, y'all's free now. And then it was some other stuff that it was the time of year that we were freed. There were some slave owners who it was crop season, and before they wanted to get that last crop in before we walk off the fucking job. So they said, don't tell them until this crop is done. So
it's so fucking nuts. Like, I was thinking.
I
about
also
this
think we could
yesterday.
give it a better name than that, but that's just.
Well,
me.
I think we named it. I don't think you all named it, so it's cool.
That's true. I mean,
we can tell y'all.
Don't you tell him what
No, I know. I'm just saying. I mean, it just sounds kind of like we just.
That's like men trying to tell women what to do with abortion. So
Yeah.
let us do this.
Yeah.
That's true.
They'll name it whatever the fuck they want.
That's true. And by they, we mean
Like,
black people.
And we call it. I got an anti-colonizer day or something.
Anti-colonizer day.
It's interesting.
AC Day.
All you
For
have
those
to
of
do
you who saw Wakanda.
All day.
Well, Black Panther.
if you just put yourself in someone else's shoes or just try to relate to, and I think everybody should do this with everything, just to
Absolutely.
just it'll bring us all, like, we're so divided and shit, but like just
now
as
more
easy
than
as
ever.
like I sometimes think, I'm like, imagine if I was black and I knew that this fucking country enslaved my ancestors
That'd be
at one
tough.
time.
That'd be a
I'd
tough
be
one
like,
to
I'd
get
be
over.
fucking pissed.
Yeah,
I'd be
I'd be
like,
mad
what the
as fuck.
fuck?
And that
Yeah,
lets
you
forget the Jewish
enslaved-
community either.
Yeah. You say, like, and so it's hard, but I'm just fucking average white.
Here's
you're
how I
just,
explain
you're
it.
just mad because Chick-fil-A took away the spicy chicken biscuit.
I got nothing to
I
be
think
mad
they're bringing
about.
that back.
I'm mad I can't go there on Sundays after church.
Yeah.
Should be able to
Here's
do
how I
that.
explain the whole civil rights movement to white women, right? Because I got into a conversation one day with this white woman. She was like, well, I think, racism has basically ended. It was something
Oh
in the
my
60s.
God.
And I was like, really? She said, yeah, I think, you all have equal rights now and blah, 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 blah. I was like, oh, okay. So I changed the subject, right? And I knew I wanted to come back around. And I said, well, I'm so glad sexism doesn't exist anymore. She was like, what do you mean? I said, sexism doesn't exist anymore. Women got equal rights, equal pay. She's like, what do you mean? She said, you can't say that. I said, why not? You're not a woman. I said, exactly.
Yeah.
I said, so you can't say as a white woman that racism doesn't exist anymore. I said, I'm in this skin every day.
Yeah.
And I experience some forms of racism every single day, but I choose which ones to cry about and which ones to, rail about. And same thing with women. No man can say sexism doesn't exist anymore. We're not in a woman's body every day. We're not with them 24 hours a day where they get talked down to or taken advantage of or sexual innuendos. So it's like, until you really put yourself in somebody else's shoes, you can't really, bitch about what's ended and what's better for somebody now. So that's how I kind of break it down. I don't know how to break it down to you white guys. But
I think it works the same.
Yeah, I think that works pretty
But
well.
because the only, this is funny to me. It's I don't use the word minority because I think it's a word used to make me feel less than, and I'm not less than anything.
Yeah.
I may be 5'8", and maybe have a centimeter Peter. A small one, but still, I'm not a minority.
I haven't heard that term since I was a kid.
What, centimeter Peter?
My dad used to say that.
Yeah. Whoa.
Really?
Not
You called
like-
it that?
Making a joke.
Bill Cosby is dead.
He is America's dad.
So the thing about it is I forgot what point.
Well, no, you
Oh,
were saying
sorry.
that how to make it relate to white guys.
Right. Oh, yeah, because the only person who's not a minority are white men.
True.
Everybody else, women, every other ethnicity, we're considered the minorities. If you add us up, we're not. But so it's like, I don't know how to explain how to feel to be,
Discriminated against
Discriminated
for
against,
anything. Yeah.
right. We try to do it in the animal, with hacky ass Rob Snyder.
I never saw that.
But
Yeah, you don't like that guy, do you?
No, not
Yeah,
really.
yeah. Yeah. Did we ever have him in? We didn't, did we?
No, he used to come in the radio station, and
I thought he was supposed to come in here one time. And
Probably
he
was.
He was. He just, I think, blew it off or whatever.
Yeah,
but I think even at
that's
the radio
right.
station, I remember he was like, like he looked like he didn't want to be involved into anything. Like it was like he's like he was pissed off that he was even doing any of this.
He's
like,
alive.
yeah.
And 4-3.
Yeah. I mean, like, goddamn, you're rich, man. Just enjoy it.
Yeah, just have fun.
Yeah. Like,
Money don't mean shit, man.
No,
Yeah,
I
that's
know.
true.
I know.
That's absolutely true.
Look, what's the DJ that took his own life? Fucking DJ.
You're
It's a
talking
documentary. I just saw a documentary on this kid. He was like Avicii.
Oh, yeah.
that
I
was
mean,
really sad.
dude was making fucking hand over fist money. So money, it ain't about money all the time, man. There's some people. I feed the homeless downtown in Skid Row, L.A.
Yeah.
And some of those people are happy as fuck.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
they're like, it's like you have nothing. You have shit matted to your face. And he still has a good attitude. Like, wow.
Yeah, and
they'll live longer, too.
We talked to a bunch of people that have traveled the world and stuff, like, just kind of have been on adventures where they just dropped off in South America and walk.
I'd be interested to see it.
Every single
to see if Guy agrees with this.
But every single person that has had some sort of massive adventure that relied on other people along the way said that universally around the world, the happiest people and the most generous people were the people with the least amount.
Yeah.
And they were.
They'll give you the shirt off their back when they had a good attitude. They were happy. They were welcoming. They were loving.
Didn't
they were
have
kind.
shit.
Let me tell you, it's so true, and where my brain has been the last couple of weeks, to be honest. Because it's like I'm going to Cuba next month.
Cool.
Oh,
And
really?
every time I say I'm going to Cuba, people have been there like, oh, it's the safest place you ever want to go. You can leave your money in your hotel room and the maids won't touch it, and or you can walk down the street late night, and they have less. They don't have what we have over here. So it's true that. But the other thing is too. I always say we're all born perfect or close to perfect. Until we start getting older and we digest all this, a lot of this bullshit, is when it starts shaping us. And because racism is a learned behavior. No one's born racist.
Yeah.
No one's born a bigot.
Yeah.
No one's born hating somebody because of the shade of their skin. All those are learned behaviors.
Yep. Yeah.
They're learned behaviors. So I believe that statement, because the less bullshit you're taught and the less bullshit you ingest, the closer to perfection that you are. You know what I mean? As far as in your thinking and pure. That's why kids and animals are so, are so great young, because they're not jaded by the world yet.
Yeah, they haven't been,
fucked up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Infused with all this shit.
Bullshit.
You probably feel the same way I do. It's fun to watch like my daughter with all of her friends that are all different nationalities.
Right.
When they're just doing their thing, it's so
They're
fucking
kids.
natural and nice. It's just nice.
Yeah.
Even if they disagree with each other, it's because of a real fucking reason.
Right.
It's like, you had that pail, and
Right.
you took the pail from me. That's
Right.
that's an
But
obvious
as
thing to get
dumbass
mad about.
adults, when we're driving, the first thing comes out is ethnicity. You're driving, somebody cuts you off. You fucking Chinese motherfucker.
Like, why?
Why does race that? It happened to me one day.
You did yell out the Chinese ethnicity.
That's the stereotype.
For
Right, but
the
why?
driving.
Right. Because the thing about it is, because I was driving, I had a Jewish manager one day, and we were driving to a meeting one day. And we were driving, and this black dude cut him off. And I got on his natural. He looked up like, and he saw me in the car like, he was like, neo-Nazi. Like, yeah, right. Yeah. I knew it. You can't call a black guy neo-Nazi. You know exactly what you were about to say if I wasn't in this damn car right now. But I do it. I'm ashamed of it. I've been driving, and somebody Asian cut me off like, you Chinese, Godzilla's coming. It's racist, it's bigot, it's dumb, it's stupid. But why do we go for race or even gender? If it's a man, damn lady drivers.
I've done it.
Yeah, we're all ignorant because we've been fed women can't drive, or black people can't drive, or Asians can't drive. Or, it's all bullshit.
Yeah, 100%. And
People can't drive.
Tom can drive.
The saddest part is like now with my kids, I see like you're right how pure they are and how they would never ever grow up with any sort of racist or a bigot thought unless I instilled that into them.
Like somebody outside.
No.
It's not a natural instinct.
They don't even
exactly.
They've never even asked me, and you think like just out of curiosity, like why is this person's skin color different?
No.
They've never even. It doesn't even cross their goddamn minds.
It just is.
It's not
a
even
thing.
It's not even like they asked me like I had to explain like some people have different pigment in their skin or whether they don't even give a fuck. doesn't even register.
Honestly, Maisie has every nationality. You've seen her school photo in her class.
She's not. Kids aren't even confused by race.
One fucking time.
And you probably had a kid that's probably like maybe born in 2009, probably like. There wasn't a black president until now. Like they don't know a world without a black president.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they
also, your kids live in Orlando, which there is a bunch of different ethnicities.
That's true.
Now you got to think of like in the Midwest, where it's all white people. If they do go into a city and they're like, the kid might ask, like, why is that person skin?
That's true.
You in Montana or North Dakota, South Dakota,
with long enough. But I mean, there's got to be less and less places that you're not going to ever see, because you hear those old stories. So
not true.
Really? That's how Sean. I grew up in Miami, so I was the minority of being a white person down in Miami.
Right.
So I have a different experience, although I wasn't treated like minority. Like I have no experience of that. But everybody was Spanish around me, so I didn't,
And it's funny because when white people coming to the black community, we embrace. Like, hey, thanks for coming to check on us. Yeah, but seriously, it's a different treatment. Now, if you come off to be, a trumpeter, you may get different treatment. But it's a different treatment.
Yeah.
It's a different treatment. Like Gary Owen. I mean, Gary Owen got basically his start in L.A. at Fat Tuesday, my comedy night, and I was like, yes, it was a room for black comedians to showcase. But I also play funnytism, not favoritism. If you're funny enough to do that room and not be disrespectful, I mean, Gary Owen would come and kill. Billy Gardell would come and kill.
Yeah.
Even Paulie would come up to the stage. Bob Saget blew the roof off the place because this is before people knew he cursed. You know what I'm saying? This is before people knew he was dirty. And he came in the all-black room, at the Comedy Store, main room, 400 people.
Filthy.
And filthy. And we were like, oh, shut up! He like us! And Dice Clay would come and do Fat Tuesday. So, it wasn't just, for black comics.
That's awesome.
But if you're a white comic who wasn't offensive, and wasn't trying to come and coon, because white people can coon too. Like, I hate seeing white comics come in and try to be black. No, just be funny. We don't want to see you do us. You know what I'm saying? It's like you all don't want to see us, hey, Ted, hey, Tom, or hey, Timmy.
I would probably think you were insane if you did that. Like, what the fuck
right, but it happens.
To Torry? Yeah.
It happens. And that's one of the things that we cover in the documentary as well, is like how in slavery, some of the slaves were coon. To try to get that whip off their ass, they would tell jokes to massa, try to make them laugh.
So your documentary's gotten bigger since the last time we saw you.
Sound like my gut right now.
You kind of you look good.
No, I'm telling you, I hope my gut gets dementia and just wander off and never come back. Just the gut.
You pivoted the whole thing now to a point where is it getting bigger now?
Like, it has. It's bigger than this my little one small comedy night. It's a bigger story.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to one of the gentlemen who helped produce When They See Us on the Central Park 5.
Yeah.
He was a good friend of mine. And the guy who directed it, Reggie Helen from East St. Louis, good friend of mine. So I'm talking, to one of the producers and coming on board and helping us really tell the story and tell it in a way to where it's educational. It's not like pointing the finger at the white man and all that crap. We've seen enough of that shit.
Yeah.
So it's now just really just telling the story.
Well, we all do it to ourselves too. We get on social media and we start pointing fingers crazy.
Right.
I mean, I'd really just rather be educated on.
And that's what I want it to be. A documentary should be enlightening, educating, and entertaining.
Yeah.
We want the 3 E's. We don't want any body to get mad and go, because I watch When They See Us, and I'm telling you, I was ready to fly to New York, get out the plane, start beating white cops up. I'm serious. I was. That's how mad I was. That's the emotion, because it pulled the Band-Aid off of every time I got stopped for no reason by a white cop. It's like these young kids were wrongly accused, went to jail for it, lost a lot of the important years of their lives, and here's still just 2 days ago, Trump is still saying, oh, they were guilty, even though they're exonerated. I still think they did it. It's like, come on, dude. Just anyway, we won't get into all that.
People say, I think they did it. Well, when facts prove that they did it,
there wasn't even their DNA. They found somebody else's DNA in her, on her person, and now it's like, well, they probably did something else that they deserved.
No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. Yeah.
Then you shouldn't be president, sir, because you did a lot of shit.
Yeah. The guy, with your documentary, I'm interested in what's the the business side of it, in the fact that I hear a lot of people talk about they do a passion project, they do a documentary, and they're like, listen, I did it because I wanted it out there and I wanted to do it, not for the money, because a lot of people said there's no money in document. Yeah, docs don't make money.
Docs don't make money, and that's why it's taking me so long. And I spent mainly all my money, not all my money, but most of my money has gone into it thus far.
Yeah.
To get it to the point to where the
you've been
production
working on
company
it for a while.
For a while. Because, I tour 40, 45 weekends
Sure.
a year, put it up, I put it down, pick it up, put it down. And then I'm glad it's taking this long because now it became a bigger story. But also, I'm finding out other little things that, that went on during that era. Doing Fat Tuesdays, because Comedy Store was a place where they didn't have a lot of black regular comedians in there. Like, Comedy Store regulars are someone that they book all the time, as a regular. And when I started doing stand up in LA, I was new. We had to do comedy in the hood, South Central, So the black guys who were regulars at the Comedy Store would kind of come down to the hood and with an S in their chest and we asked, you going up tonight? Oh no, I got a spot at the store.
It
made you feel like I'm at the store, you're in your little ghetto club, and I hated how that feeling was. So when I brought the
I'd have
hood,
been like, well, what the fuck are you doing here then? Like,
to rub it in,
yeah.
to rub it in.
Yeah.
So
Just to brag.
yeah, exactly. Ego. I mean, comics are so sensitive and self-centered and fucking narcissistic. We're fucked up individuals. We are, man. We're dark. We're dark people, man. Inside, and have to be both dark inside out. But the thing about it is like, so when I brought the hood to Hollywood, when I brought a black night to the Comedy Store, they were mad. I thought the black comics were celebrated, who were already regulars at the Comedy Store. They were not happy about that. Like, because when you're black and you get into some white shit, you want to be the only one. It's the crab in the barrel syndrome. Every time a crab try to leave the barrel, pull him back down, and that goes all the way back to even slavery. That's why it's that through line. It's like it's the same shit
you're talking about.
It doesn't change. It's embedded in our DNA for some reason, not to really root for another black person.
Yeah.
Because sometimes in our mind, only one's going to make it at a time. We're not all going to get in unless it's the NBA. But even that took a while. Even that tried to trickle in little by little by little by little.
So then you got jealousy and ego, and then
ego, envy, insecurity.
Yeah.
That's why you have top comedians going at each other. Like, dog, it's enough money for all of us, really.
Yeah.
Our
top comedians going at each other?
I remember one time Kevin Hart and Mike Epps was going at it.
Okay, yeah.
And then my man and all my friends, it's uncomfortable because all of them are great comedians. All of them are successful in making money, and I don't know why. I don't know where the infighting comes in. So it's like, why Steve Harvey and Bernie Mac didn't really kind of see eye to eye. So it's I don't understand it.
Do a lot of people inside the comedy world are jealous of like Kevin Hart or do not
Absolutely.
like him?
There's so many comments coming for Kevin, man, and it's like, why? Kevin puts the work in.
Yeah.
Kevin works hard, and he's in the machine, and the machine is when Hollywood grabs you. Boom! If you put that work in at the same time, boom, you're gonna be to that status. And he's always gotten it. Like when he was young, before he blew up, I had conversations with him, and he's always kind of got it of how this machine works and how it works, and there's a formula to it. Comedy is not just about talent; there's a science in this shit too.
Yeah.
There's a formula to it. I mean, it's not a formula how to be funny because you either got it or you don't.
Sure.
But the way to surround yourself by the right people and working hard, the right team, the
politics,
the politics of it. And as long as you don't sell your soul or your whole, you can do it and make it with make it to the top. So a lot of cats come at Kevin or they came at Kat, some people came at me. I don't know why, but there are comics who don't put the work in. And I tell comics all the time, it's like, if it's your full-time job, if you had a regular full-time job, you go to work from 9 to 5, 8 hours a day. You're at that job doing what you're supposed to do for that job. And as comedians and entertainers, you really should be treating it like a full-time job. You should be at least at your job 8 hours a day. If it's 3 hours in a comedy club at night, then put in 6 hours writing or researching during the day, working on your material, working on your set, studying other comedians, or taking acting classes, or taking improv classes, or whatever. But I think if it's your full-time job, it's your full-time job. You owe that to the people who come pay to see you. You owe that to someone who who don't really have a big dispensable income, who want to take their lady out on a date, who gotta buy 2 drinks and 2-drink minimum, and gotta, you owe that to them to give them a great show. And that's my thing with the social medians is like, I ain't mad at you. You got way more followers than me, but make sure when people come see you live, you give them the money's worth or more than the money's worth. Now, sometimes you're gonna have a bad set. Shit, I have them all the time.
Yeah.
But you still put in the effort. You can go to bed saying, "Man, I tried. It just wasn't my night."
Yeah.
Because I never blame an audience for a bad show. I don't. A lot of times I have bad audience. No such thing. How can 300, 400 people be wrong? I'm the only one right.
Yeah.
I do this more than they do that, so I should be better at this than you all what you all do. So it's no excuse. It's just bad jokes, bad energy that night. From you.
Guy, let me ask you this. Is there such thing right now as being blackballed as it was? Like, for instance, okay, because like we've talked to Monique several times, and she
love Monique.
And she
she's always been good to us, man. Her and Tone X and people that come in here and hang out with us early on, you know.
Right.
She makes no bones about the fact that after
She's got some big bones too.
she won the Academy Award, and after like that because of how she acted or people's perception of her or whatever it
Might have
was.
just been her decisions,
Yeah,
I mean,
like-
sticking up for herself or feeling that
She's always been that way, though.
Yeah.
People think she got nominated and changed. No, she's always been one to really speak her mind and not take crap. I mean, being a woman in this world is very freaking hard, I imagine, because I'm not one.
Yeah.
But and then being a black woman in this world is even harder. And then being a black
successful
and then you're in
Yeah.
a field that's mainly dominated by men. It's even harder. So you got to fight for everything you got or you get. Elaine Boozler, who had to do the same thing as a white comic coming up. When she came up in the ranks of comedy in the 80s, I mean, she made sure that club managers didn't fuck her over, because they will. I mean, what women comics have to go through is insane, especially when you get promoters. And unfortunately, it's a lot of the black ones who book a female comic who may be cute or kind of cute, and he feels like you owe him some pussy because he booked you. Or they're trying to fuck you after the show. Or they got a double hotel key. They book your hotel. They get the keys. Oh, I got your key for you already. And they got another key trying to slip in their rooms at 2 a.m. The stuff that female comics have to go through, black or white,
Bullshit.
is insane.
Yeah.
Trying to want sex for stage time. So somebody like Monique, who been at one point she was overweight, and so she heard all them jokes, and even though she was a pretty lady, still a disadvantage. So you get tired of taking shit.
But
You get tired of getting talked down to. You get tired of getting, and at some point you're like, fuck it. Like me now, fuck it, I'm 50.
yeah.
So you get tired of taking the shit. So Monique was like, man, enough. You ain't gonna keep just using me.
Yeah, and it seemed like, and she had 100% of a point. We talked about it when her on the show, but now with it expanding so much, there's so many different avenues, and there's like so many different, for lack of a better term, networks with Netflix and like all Hulu.
Well,
like,
just
it's
different
not,
avenues to release on your own.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was a tight knit like production companies and networks and stuff, and they all knew each other and like incestuous, and they could blackball you or blackball someone a lot easier when everybody was.
Well, the studios, there were only 3 main movie studios, 3 main television networks,
and they all knew each other and stuff. And then if you got blackballed, it's like you don't work. But now that exploded, and now there's a bunch of avenues, so it seems like harder to blackball.
Well, you can get blackballed for maybe like some of the main media, but because we live in a world now where there's an audience for everybody. Like you just gave me the idea. I may start a Blackballed channel.
Just people that have been blackballed.
Exactly, just people that have been blackballed, and like, you know what?
Yeah.
These are and like, and some people root for the black people got blackballed. Like I understand your point of view. I'm watching your channel because I feel like you feel, or what you said wasn't that bad, or blah 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 blah. Why not start a Blackballed channel and just like everybody who feel like they who got blackballed out the business, let's do our own shit. But that's basically how BET started. Black Entertainment Television and TV One. That's how Fat Tuesdays was. Like, okay, we can't come play your night because, then I'll have my own night at your place. And that's how I got American History X. That's how Chris Tucker got Fifth Element. That's how Michael Blackson got discovered. That's how Nick Cannon got discovered at Fat Tuesdays, because we weren't invited on the other nights. So for Fat Tuesdays, Leslie Jones, she actually got her start. She came to Fat Tuesdays. It was on one of the last shows she did before she left to New York. to go to change her energy, and then bam, she blew up. People think she's just been doing comedy a few years. No, she's been grinding for a long damn time, and people don't see that grind because there was no social media to show our grind. Now you can see somebody from their first day of doing stand-up to 10 years in, every day of their lives, or every year.
You get a big resume you can look at. Pictures.
You're right. Back in the day, it was almost like, boom.
Where they come from?
Yeah. Like super hot.
Overnight success.
Yeah, you're like, overnight.
Overnight,
and then you don't see, and even like the NSYNC, we've talked to Chris Kirkpatrick from NSYNC,
right.
and he sat down on the couch and told the story. He's like, dude, I was doing this shit. We were touring in Europe way before, like, we were doing this stuff for
He'd been at it
for a couple of years.
Right.
You know, like, and then all of a sudden we started hitting success, but no one saw that because it didn't exist in the social media and all this stuff.
Yeah, no one saw the shows when we started doing stand-up, and the drug dealer promoters we had to do shows for, and they don't have all your money, and they put a gun on the desk and like, well, I ain't got all your money, and you looking at the gun like, fuck, okay, well, just give me what you got. Or you pull out your gun, well, you better find the rest. Or you got promoters who pick you up from the airport and like, oh, they got to make 3 stops to get your money. They go in the corner and grab the money off their dealers to pay you for your show. Ooh, nobody see all that shit. Nobody sees waiting, 4 or 5 hours after your show to get paid. When you did your show, you ripped, you killed. Or nobody sees that they promote the after party more than they promote the comedy show. And they got to wait. You got to go to the after party to get your money because that's where they made their money. No one sees all that shit. They just see, and that's why it's like, this documentary is covering, the ugly truth about comedy. Comedy is no joke.
It's interesting. When you were saying that, I'm thinking, all the athletes, like professional athletes, are showing their like off-season workouts. Yeah, and like now that's become a thing.
Yeah,
of like how
JaVale
hard
McGee
they work
of
out.
all people, Shaq the Fool. And JaVale McGee is now showing his off-season workout.
Yeah, and then everybody's like, "Oh my God, look how hard he's working!" Like these athletes have been doing this for a long time.
Like he just picked to do this on a fucking Friday.
I was just telling somebody on another radio show. I was telling. I don't know if it was last night at Scarborough. I think I had this conversation last night or on the other radio show I did. But Kobe, people want to give Kobe crap, right? But Kobe, when he was playing, when the season ends, he takes 2 weeks off, right? And goes on vacation with his family. After those 2 weeks, he's in the gym.
Yeah.
Working on his game. And by Labor Day, he's in 95% shape for, I think I was telling you, Mike. By Labor Day, he's in 95% shape for the new season. They said most NBA players don't pick up a ball until Labor Day. Kobe's already, that's why he's one of the greatest players of all time.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan the same way. LeBron the same way. Kim Olajuwon, those guys, because they don't go off just natural talent, natural ability, but they're working on the game. So now, with the players showing their stuff, now, you can see it, but you don't see that work. A lot of them put in on the off season.
Yeah. And it's the same thing. It's every single
procession.
time.
It's no magic bullet. It's nothing. Yeah.
The most successful people work the
hardest.
Maybe
in porn though.
Yeah. Like shit.
Exactly.
I listened to, going back to Kevin Hart, him on Joe Rogan recently. Yeah. And his regiment and what he does and how early he wakes up and then what he
he does it physically too.
Yeah, he's disciplined as shit, and you're like, oh. Well, it's not the world didn't be like, hey, Kevin Hart, here's $1 billion. You, like everything because you know what, you won the lottery. We all like you. It's like no, that motherfucker works his ass off.
Pamela Anderson being discovered at a hockey game, and then she's on the cover of everything.
Right.
And I'm not.
She had to suck some big dicks.
Yeah, exactly.
But more importantly,
I'm not taking that away from her. I'm just saying that
let's unwrap that. Let's unpack that.
All right.
So she had to eat well. She had to go in the gym, get a nice body, keep her parents.
Yeah.
All that stuff too. Same thing with Kevin Hart.
That's true.
It's not. It's just like but women are born a certain way, certain body. But you got to get in the gym and work that shit and shape your body right and look right and eat right.
You guys have good genetics.
Good genetics too, but not drink, not smoke. Well, not as much, not abusive.
Yeah. Then you got to marry some guy that can honk a boat horn with his big cock. Tommy Lee.
Speaking of good genetics, I wonder where the height of like, because there used to be a time in like the NFL where you could get by with just the best genetics and
Right.
being talented.
Oh, not what, and not
put in the
woodshed?
work. Like
Yeah.
nowadays, no, that is all out the window. You have to have the best genetics and the best work
You gotta
ethic,
work your
and
ass
then
off.
that's who's in the NFL now.
Right.
But back in the day, there was a sweet time where you could be just like a really genetic talented guy,
Soccer
and,
too,
and
yeah.
not put in the work. You're smoking cigarettes.
Let's take the NBA.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
take the NBA.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
dropping names, but I was real good friends with Moses Malone. Right.
Wow.
So I was doing a bit on basketball, and and back in the day, and I was interviewing him about how was it back in the day when you played. Like he said, man, shit. He said we didn't get these big fancy hotel rooms like these players now.
Yeah, yeah.
He said we if we wanted a suite, we had to put some sugar on the floor, and that's was our suite in our hotel room. He said he was talking about how after the game they didn't have any trainers and all these strength coach and all that stuff. He said, man, we're responsible for our own uniform. We didn't have no equipment manager. He said when we took a shower, that's how we washed our uniforms for the next game. When we took a shower, our uniforms took a shower with us because there was no throw your jersey in a big bin and somebody comes by and cleans it and takes it to the next city. They said they had 2 uniforms, away and home. That's it. Not 10 away jerseys, 10 home jerseys.
Yeah.
And he said that's how they played the game. I mean, and
yeah.
after the game, they would go in the locker room, smoke a cigarette, and have a 6-pack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only 6-pack we had was the ones we drank.
Yeah.
I mean, this is one of the greatest players of all time, Moses
Yeah.
Malone, and he saw the game evolve and change when it got, start making money and these big contracts, and and to compete with the other players, you kind of got to fall in line.
Sure.
You want to compete with Kevin Hart, then you almost got to do it just doesn't take being funny. It takes being healthy. When you're working out and you're getting your rest and your blood is flowing through your body great, which means oxygen is getting to the brain, which means more creativity. So it all goes hand in hand. As comedians, as entertainers, we're our instrument. So you got to take care of your instrument. You see race car drivers take care of their car.
Yeah.
They take guys who play horns, and they make sure their guitars are strung right and the piano keys are tuned right. We are instruments, so we got to treat our bodies, and you all as well.
Well, you've always taken care of yourself.
I've been doing a lot better.
But does it hurt you when, as a guy that's done this, and I won't say what Tom says, for so long, as a guy,
I was just joking.
As a guy that's been successful in the game for a very long time, do you look at younger guys when you see them abusing themselves with either drugs or alcohol or stuff like that, and you're like, fuck, man? Because some guys, they do say that that's the stuff that they need in order to be ultra creative. I'm not,
and they really don't.
Yeah, I don't think they
really
either.
don't. I think I don't
Because
smoke
we've
weed.
lost so many good
Mitch
comedians.
Hedberg,
Yeah.
Robin Williams. I mean, guys who took because we're really depressed individuals. That's why they're doing it.
Yeah.
They're doing it for to cover that hole, whatever
Pain.
insecurities they have, and to cure that pain. Because I've gone sober for a while, and it's funny because there's times when when my dad passed away, right? I quit drinking for 90 days, just cold turkey.
Yeah.
Because the when he died, I was in the improv, doing the improv in Denver, and I found out on a Friday morning, early Friday morning after a Thursday night show, and I got sloppy drunk then. I don't know why. And when he crossed over, he came to visit me. Sounds weird, but I was laying in bed and I was drunk, and I don't know why. I was trying to go to sleep, and I was like, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I don't know why I ever said that. I never said that in my life. I don't want to die. I want to die. I got to take care of myself. I want to die. I don't want to die. Went to sleep, got awakened by a phone call. It was my brother. Dad passed away. When I talked to my mom, and she told me what happened, she got the call from the hospital that he wasn't being responsive. It was at the same time that I was trying to go to sleep, and I was saying, I don't want to die.
Yeah. And
I'm named after my dad. I was a favorite child, of course. And so it's crazy how that happened. So I quit drinking because I said if I know I continue the weekend, I was going to come home. My mom like, no, man up. Your dad would tell you, keep on doing the show. Nothing you can do. Here, everything is arranged. Wow. We kind of knew it was coming.
Yeah.
So I ended up not drinking because I said if I drink, I'm going to be emotional on stage because I do jokes about my mom and dad.
Yeah.
And I didn't drink. And I quit for 90 days. And it's crazy because I didn't change much. And I was like, man, I thought I was saying all this asshole shit because I was drunk. I'm just an asshole. It had nothing to do with the fucking alcohol. I'm just an asshole, period. And I was like, I think I was funnier because I was more sharper and clearer without the alcohol. So it's a crutch. Comics
Yeah,
can tell you. I can't speak for every comic, but I think if you're naturally talented, you're gonna have it, whether with or without it. Sometimes we do need it. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes you're not feeling as confident. I'm gonna take a shot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take 2 shots. Right now, we all have vices. Right now, a cigar is my vice. Smoke a
Nice.
cigar before a show. Have a shot. Go on stage. I think it's giving me some. It's like our spinach to Popeye.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we don't really need that shit. It's all mental.
Yeah.
Guy, do you think there'll ever be a time?
I ain't high or drunk right now, and I'm kind of funny.
do you think there'll be a time where, with I'm guessing as technology moves on and we like maybe VR goggles are like everybody in the household, like the kids use them for video games or people use them for different experiences. And then some comics going to be like, hey, I'm going to put a stand-up show on, and it's going to be on the internet here. Put on your VR goggles, and I'm doing live.
I think somebody's already
They're
attempting
trying to do that. I
do
think.
that.
Is it ever going to relate to
may.
without a person
I think you got to feel the energy of the room and the person. Like I think you got to be there.
Right, but it's like watching it on TV though, so it's not that much different from that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do the hologram shit. Like I can be in 9 clubs at the same time.
yeah.
Fucking hologram, just hologram me. I can make 9 checks in one night.
Yeah.
Well,
Shit.
I mean, is that the future? Like, what do you think? I mean, we've seen a certain progression of stand-up, but for the most part, it's kind of tried and true. It's like, hey, get up in a club that is reasonably sized because we realize
not
too.
a stadium.
It's like it's
for
hard.
some folks.
Yeah.
you know.
Like,
It'd be
it changes.
sad if the brick and mortar comedy shows go away.
I don't see them going away because they lasted this long and they.
But here's the thing, when my generation dies off, and the people like some people just aren't tech savvy and don't want to do it. They didn't grow up with it. They're old fashioned. Go to comedy clubs, sit down, go on a date, do it.
Yeah.
Right. When that generation dies off, that may be the way. Unfortunately.
Yeah, like are people still
Yeah.
gonna go to club? But I
Will
feel
the
like
vehicle change for the message?
If you ever do it, that experience is so powerful that that will draw you to keep going. It's kind of like, people thought movie theaters were gonna die after VHS and stuff. Like,
People love them.
And I mean, people were convinced. Like, I remember there was like a podcast I was listening to about when VHS came out. Like, the movie industry was legitimately concerned.
my
that
dad
this
said
is
it.
gonna
My dad's
kill.
like, we'll never go to a theater ever again.
Yeah. And it
Well,
didn't.
the drive-through did. The drive-through kind of went away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the drive-in
But I think
theater.
live entertainment,
Drive-in,
I don't
that's
think
what I
it'll
meant,
ever
drive-in.
die. You think people will stop going to concerts?
Yes.
And
You know
I don't
why?
think so.
I think so. I wouldn't.
It's the atmosphere you feel when you're there.
Yeah, but like I said, when my generation dies off, and all and now you can get in those other forms, you become comfortable with it. It's like they can make it. I saw the commercials with the guys, and they put the things on. They're like sitting courtside at the NBA games, like they're right there.
Yeah.
And you can see other people in the audience. You can see the whole room. And now they can put the sound to where the sound is even better coming from headphones than being live. Because sometimes some sound systems, some comedy clubs are shitty. So I wouldn't be surprised if that goes away. Because if you look at now, people are detached right now with social media.
They are detached, but there's think about all the music festivals that are popping up, and even comedy festivals, more and more
Right.
popping up every year. So I feel like it's still thriving.
I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I hope
but
I'm wrong.
my sons, the 4 and 5 year
Yeah, I
old,
don't-
like
I don't
what
know.
world are they gonna grow up? Like maybe,
Right.
maybe then like people don't want to go out anymore because it's dangerous. Like leaving your house and there's like.
We got maybe one more year of danger, and then we're back to a regular administration. we can go outside again.
The thing is, there's always crazy
Yeah,
people
there's
that everybody's
always
scared.
crazy.
And with everybody, with all the news, all you see is like these crazy news stories. So you get more and more scared.
Because our fucking government will not deal with mental illness.
Yes.
It's the way they should. It's like deal with this mental illness. The good thing is they're letting people smoke weed more and more in states. So that's helping a little mental illness a little bit. Keep from going crazy.
It's
Cause
helping me.
yeah, smoke that weed, smoke that ganja.
Yeah.
I can only smoke like when I'm about to have sex.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It does feel better.
I'm Magic Mike.
Yeah.
It does feel better.
I'm
And I
Magic
think I
Mike,
look
man.
better too.
I am. I'm telling you right now,
I get
I'm
a boost
sexy
of
as hell.
confidence. Yeah.
And all I need is a shotgun. Like it's funny story. I don't really smoke weed, so I went to this. I don't want to date myself, of it being too recent because I don't know what girls are listening. But I recently went to a Hollywood party, big Hollywood party, and one of the gifting suites was a cannabis thing. I
Okay.
got a big gift bag full of weed and edibles and all type of shit.
Explain to our audience a big Hollywood party and a
Opulence,
gifting
yeah.
suite, because most people are like, "What the fuck is a
Gifting suite is you go you go to a building or place, and they have all these just products from other companies. It can be hair care products. It can be, I got a Keurig machine one year
Oh, damn.
from a gifting suite. You can get iPods, you can get Beats headphones.
And do
you
the
can-
companies donate
They
these
donate it, yeah.
so that they get them in the celebrities' hands?
Exactly.
Okay.
Got to be, somewhat of a name to get these, to go to these gifting suites. So, I went to this one. It was sponsored by this cannabis company, and they gave me a big bag full of just weed, and edibles, and vape pens, and I do none of that shit. But I have friends who come over, so I just keep it in
Yeah.
a
Good to
separate
have on
humidor,
hand.
and a separate humidor from my cigars. And so one night, a couple of friends came over, some ladies, and one of them were, we were, kind of
Yeah.
pulling sheets
Uh-huh.
together. And I asked them if I had any edibles, edible, and I ate one,
Uh-huh.
right? And I don't really smoke. I ate half of one. I thought it was pretty goddamn good. Then I ate the other half.
How many milligrams or did you
They
know?
were, I want to say, I had a picture of it. Because I took a picture of the. I took it years ago before cell phones. When I took this picture, and I just happened to save it and have it in my phone
It's
today.
a Polaroid.
Yeah.
Never know who's listening. Because it wasn't that recent. But what I did was I ate it, and then the other girls left, and the one that I was pulling sheet was stayed, and it was we had pulled sheets before, we had sex before, and it was always good, and
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
But this night was extra special. I don't know what it was,
Yeah,
but I was
yeah.
like, I was like. After that, I was like, "Were you holding back all these other times? I've never remember you being this damn good." And I was
Yeah,
like, and then the next couple of days, I was still kind of like floating, And then I told someone what had happened, and they were like, "It was that damn edible." I was like, "What?" They said, "Yeah, you ate the edible, and it heightens your sensation." I was like, "Is that what it was?"
I think, yeah,
It's a
it
damn
works.
edible.
It works.
And it works. And now I'm like, but see, I don't want to have to eat an edible every time I,
Oh, you should do
want to
it.
do it.
I do it every just to sleep
But it's
every night.
possible though. Sometimes
But it was,
edible's
man-
too strong, and then things. I'm like
Well, see,
slapping
that-
it. I'm like, come on.
That happened to me. Well,
Move.
you talking about the other? Okay, no. I haven't
And
had
I'm
that
like
problem.
trying to. I can't even get my dick hard. I'm like, come on, man.
Like, wake up, little buddy.
Yeah.
Well, turn 50, you that'll happen.
Oh, I think I'm 43, so I'm
Well,
getting
you
there.
get when we turn 40, we lose testosterone anyway. Our
Oh,
sex
I was
drive
going to
starts
ask you
to turn
about that. Like, are you going to
I
get
can feel a pussy growing.
Because Joe
I can
Rogan's
feel it.
big on like a lot of. I know a lot of guys that they get older. They start right around 50. They start taking the testosterone replacement just to get in normal levels, And for all I've read and heard about, it's completely healthy and it's actually good for you as a man to keep your testosterone levels up
at a certain
up.
level, right?
Yeah.
I got these. It's a black guy who owns a company called D Herbs. And I started using his stuff, and there's a multivitamin, a daily multivitamin. There's one for energy. There's another one for a brain boost.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if they work or not. I'm just, sometimes we convince ourselves that shit fucking works.
yeah.
And there's one for it's called Jackrabbit, which is like
There you go.
It each day I guess it gives you a little bit of more, and just in case.
Makes you pump faster. My wife doesn't like the fast pumping. I like it. I'm like, and she's like, come on, man.
See, and it's funny because
But I like it.
because different women like different things.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
Yeah, they're
we
all
pump
different.
fast, wouldn't hurt them go to fuck to sleep.
I think my
this
wife
nut
wants it
out.
a millimeter every 30 seconds. I'm like,
Then you gotta work,
damn,
but you gotta work your way up to the pump, and then right before the climax, that's when you start pumping fast. You
Yeah.
gotta make love first, then fuck.
I just put it in. I just start pumping.
See, that's what women don't like.
Yeah, I'm like, I might as well be in a fucking
You didn't kiss
Texaco
her?
pumping guy. Put it in, I go.
You didn't kiss her, you didn't
No.
play the titties.
I put it right in. I come,
talk about that in
pull
my
it out.
set.
That's it.
There's no foreplay. Women like foreplay.
No, my
They gotta-
wife wants she wants a rub every.
See, I like
time.
doing that. That's me.
Oh, my
I'm
God.
serious. I love the foreplay.
My arthritic hands, they hurt. I'm just like, oh, my hands hurt.
Okay, I tell you what. Let me come
Just
in
let
and do
me
the foreplay.
jack
Let me
rabbit
come in
it.
and do the foreplay, and you just do the pump.
All right. She'd be happy.
Let me grab your wife's boobies.
I'm like, babe, this is going to be weird.
Guy Torres.
Guy Torres in the closet. Yeah. And he's going to come flying out.
No, I'm not in the closet.
Okay, Guy Torres in the
Let's
kitchen
not.
eating some of
There
our
you go.
lunch meat.
God,
He's
glad
gonna
you say
come up,
chicken. I'm
he's
so
gonna-
glad you say chicken and watermelon.
gonna-
I was like, please don't go there. Please don't go there.
That's Charette. Charette, when we had David, was it David Wayans? Or Marlon Wayans? Marlon
One
Wayans.
of those 20 Wayans.
You know what he did?
What a great family,
I love
man.
saying this
I love
about
the Wayans.
Charette, especially when Charette's here. Charette went across the street because he wanted a rotisserie chicken. He wants something to eat. Charette comes back with chicken and collard greens.
It's across the street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I like this word.
Yeah, that's the answer we were looking for.
There you go. I'm coming out. God bless you. Good night.
Two shows to
No, I'm not ready to go. I was just joking. But if y'all ready for me to go.
Yeah, well, no. Where I'm just I don't want to keep you if I know you got places to go, man. I'll talk to you all day.
Well,
I do have to finish this. I have to finish the outline for the documentary. 'Cause
Yeah.
I pitched it to them and they loved it. Now they want to recut a sizzle. I'm gonna show you all the sizzle before I leave too.
Yeah.
He saw it actually. Mike saw it. This is just a sizzle for the Fat Tuesday part. Just you guys, because you all my friends.
I love
Can't
it.
show
I
to the
appreciate
masses
that.
yet. But yeah.
Where do you want it to be distributed?
It's interesting you say that, man, because in a perfect world, HBO would be great because number one, Showtime is doing the Comedy Store documentary, so networks are always trying to compete. So for them to have the better one, which would be mine, it'd be great for HBO. But
like
also,
the Fire Festival, they had competing documentaries.
Exactly.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
And then with me, I got my start on HBO with Def Comedy Jam. So it kind of
Full
Circle, yeah.
Exactly. So that'd be great, and a lot of the and just Def Comedy Jam is going to be covered heavily in it because that was the thing that inspired me to do comedy and so many other black comedians.
Oh, it's huge. Yeah.
So that would be kind of like that's our selling pitch to them. To HBO, to Netflix, you got to kind of tailor one to each one. It's like even if we do Apple, with the Defiant Ones, which was a great documentary with Jimmy Iovine and Dr. Dre. So Netflix is good because Netflix is so good with documentaries, man. And Showtime is good too. I don't know. We're not going to say no to Showtime, not at all.
Yeah.
Because they're doing some great documentaries, man. But you also have the Hulu and Amazon. A lot of people are doing docs now. I even had a weird, CNN, because they did the history of comedy, and they did that history. They did his story of comedy, his story. They didn't tell our story of comedy, so it's like it'd be good because especially with our through line of the social injustice. So
Yeah.
that would be good. To just that we'd have to keep it clean, and I don't want to keep it.
Yeah, I don't think you should.
Yeah,
Even we have a documentary. Do you know that?
Get out of here! I want to see it.
We
I'd love
really
to
have
see it.
one.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
You
on-
should.
it's on Amazon Prime now.
Your story of how you all started and where you are today. Every time I come, you added some new shit to
this
the
is our
fucking
10th year,
thing.
and the documentary
I
came
see
out.
trucks and shit parked out. The
That's
rap
mine.
trucks outside. I
They
see
forced me to
shit.
come.
Now you got chairs with the logos and stuff on it. You mean y'all was a little engine that could, and now you're fucking Amtrak.
Well, it's funny because he did see us in
It'll
other
derail.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it killed many people. But it's funny because like we did it 2017, 2018, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
And now it is on Amazon Prime. I never remember that we even have it because we have so much shit going on.
Which is just
I forget.
It's a
that
good problem to have.
and it's a very good documentary about how we had to leave radio in order to do this. You know,
Right.
I mean,
Right.
So I mean, I get it. But
But you took risks.
We did.
And you took a chance. You're artist, and you took that chance. You stepped out there on a leap of faith, and now it paid off. And you're doing better than what you've been doing on radio.
100%.
Right. I mean, look at this studio, man. God damn. Got your own beer and shit.
Is there a
Well, that place closed down.
It did.
Yeah.
it did.
I'm glad I saved my can. I never drank it.
no,
No, seriously.
I got more for you. Yeah, we still got beer.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll take a couple more.
And the good thing is we didn't put them out of business.
Is there a better one? Like is net like what's the in the I like the business part of it. So it's like
What's more lucrative?
Yeah, what
Yeah.
lucrative or like what's seen by more people? Like right now,
See-
who's does HBO have a bigger audience than Netflix? Like I don't know how it works.
See that, and that's the thing we will weigh. It's not about who's gonna write the biggest check. To me, it's like who's gonna where's going to get the most eyes
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
most
yeah.
exposure.
And then kind of like, cause here's the thing.
You've worked really hard on this. You got to get
It's my baby. It's my kid.
on
Exactly.
it. Yeah.
So the thing about it is too is like from what I understand, like HBO writes your check, and then you'll get residuals unless you just do a buyout. But most of the times you write it every time they show it, or it streams or whatever, you get money. From what I hear with Netflix, they write you one check, and then that's it. They can show it 10 years from now, and that's it. You won't get any more money.
Gotcha.
So it's like,
have to
I don't know if they
go on
changed
with-
that business model or not, but
That's how it works. Yeah.
right.
And what about like self-releasing it? It just
I did that this morning when I woke up.
But that's then it's hard to get the promotion right and to get eyes
Right.
on it. If you like,
Right.
because obviously nowadays you could put it out for free. I mean,
You can even limited release it in theaters if you want.
Yeah,
right?
but see, but the difficult about this one is because it's going to be a 3-parter.
Oh,
It's a little bit harder to
'Cause
do.
You got some story to tell.
Yeah.
Because like even like now here's the thing, there's no money or I don't know if there is, but remember like that now like Facebook there's like they're releasing documentaries like that Tom versus Time one, remember? Like
Yeah, the Tom Brady one.
A shit ton of people saw that, and it's probably like and now that was a small niche documentary, but it was interesting. They're like, hey, we're just gonna release this miniseries on Facebook, and I think a shit ton of people saw it.
Yeah, I plan to do that with I'm gonna do my own documentary on me.
Uh-huh.
And I say that because I think everybody in this world, no matter if you're in entertainment or not, should have a documentary on them.
Everybody has a story.
Everyone has a story. And just because you're not in entertainment doesn't mean you're not special. Doesn't mean your story isn't interesting.
Oh, those are some
Everyone
of the
has a
best
sto-
stories.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think everybody should have a story. Should have a documentary on themselves. And everybody should have a theme song. Everybody should have
I
their
know
own fucking
you have
theme
one
song.
'cause I
and
remember
I'm
it.
going to tell you right now, man, every time I hear my theme song, and I did it because I had a comedy night. So I had a theme song really for the comedy night.
sense, yeah.
But when I listen to it, whatever mood I'm in, it picks me up. I'm like, wow, that's about me. And I interviewed a couple of singers, on the Tom Joyner Morning Show, the show that I do, a syndicated show on Mondays and Wednesdays. I forgot what artist it was. I don't know if it was Robin Thicke or somebody else, but it was like, it was I knew it was. It was somebody wrote a song to his wife. And I'm like, wow.
I know Robin Thicke did, but he wrote
Well,
that
he
one
did
about
too. Yeah, that
Paula,
was
but that was a little too late.
That was a little bit. This one
Yeah.
was more like he's
John
let's do it
Legend?
together.
It could have been John Legend.
It was John Legend.
Yeah.
That's who it was. We
Yeah.
interviewed John Legend. And I said, man, you wrote that's got to be awesome for your wife to say, my husband wrote a song about me, to me, for me, tailored for me. And I was like, I wonder what that's like. Then I was like, wait a minute. I got a theme song. When I listened to it, it says some pretty cool things about me in it.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, and then when I listen to it, I kind of like, you never get tired of listening to it.
Hold
'cause
on,
it's about you.
I want to hear your
Oh,
theme song.
it's on your website, right?
I can play. Do I have it right here?
Let's see. Well, we could.
I got two actually.
who
The
made
remix
them?
or
I know I want, but two different artists.
oh.
And Google it.
It's two.
Who made your theme song?
One was a guy named G Mac. He's a musician in L.A. The other one is
Tone on the phone, is that it?
a woman called Truth Hurts. She had a song with Rakim years ago that had that kind of like Arabian music in it. I can't even try to even sing it, but where's my theme song? Where's my song? Can we plug it in? Can we?
Well, I think we could find it.
I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, it's
You're right.
and Adina Howard did one for me back in the day.
Oh, freaking the morning.
Yeah, she did one for me back in the day,
You
man.
remember Adina Howard?
That
That
beat
there.
Song,
Yeah,
Oh man, that song made me want to fuck.
and yeah, and she's still freaking in the morning. She's still singing.
Really?
Still doing it. Yeah. That's
got
like my sister, man. We were really good friends, man. We're still good friends.
I thought it was on your website. Is
It was my
yeah.
website. Its website has been. My nephew is redoing my website.
Oh damn!
He's
it.
like, guys, your website's outdated, man. Let me make some
I
money.
probably can't get to it, Tom.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
you live in
Damn
LA,
it.
right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. What, man, it always blows my mind how expensive housing is out there in LA.
man,
It's insane. It
is insane.
It really.
Although you were
It
looking
is
at some
what- it is.
Airbnbs, and you
I don't
said
know
that.
Airbnbs.
Here we go.
Oh, here we go.
And I lace this one up real tight for my man Guy T. That's my man. No doubt. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. And where it's at? The Comedy Store. No doubt, baby. On Tuesday night. It's alright. Y'all know. on. Torry Show. And where it's at? The Comedy Store. At the Comedy Store.
It's awesome. It's so smooth.
Yeah. To Hollywood. My man got Torry at the Comedy Store. Every Tuesday night, he got it popping for show. Ladies, grab your drinks. Fellas, pop your collar. Look
like
around,
that
see
flute.
something you like, you gotta holler. Believe you got it pimping if you made it in here. Ain't nothing but the hottest entertainers in here. Got comics from across the country, crazy funny. Even a few sexy comedians looking lovely. Sit back, relax, and get your laugh on. Hit the bar up, true players, get your cognac on. God brought the hood to Hollywood for real. When my peoples get together, laugh, hook up and chill. Y'all ready to do this and laugh till you're black and bluish? Let them hear you from Cali to St. Louis. When it comes to shows, ain't nobody iller than my man God T, keeping it real vanilla.
Yeah. I like it, man. I got Charette's theme song right here if you want to hear it.
Oh, is that the night after?
Charette ran over to
He's like, it's so nice.
He's
He got
He
excited.
is so nice.
What
He's like, what? He ran, motherfucker ran over and goes,
Play it again. Play it again, Sam.
He ran over. He's like, what? I'm killing you, Art.
Play it again.
Couldn't hear it. He runs over. He goes, what song is it?
Play it again, Sam.
There it is. Oh, I'm sorry.
Is that a hang? That's one of them hangovers.
I'm bullied. There's nothing you love more than a good bullied.
Oh,
I'm
so
sorry.
it's ultra nice and you're
Tears
bullying.
in your eyes. It's so
He loves
I only,
bullying.
I only laugh because Stuart's like, oh, what song
Yeah,
is
he
it?
goes, what song is he playing, Mike?
Bullying is
Oh, it's a good one.
bullying needs to stop.
Oh.
Every relationship I've been in, I was bullied into. Like, because women were like, you know, they would sleep with you for a while, and the next thing you know, it's like, well, what are we doing? You know, they get in there, they start, you know, and they got you. They take you to the airport, they pick you up, and then I say, no, you're a couple. And you're like, oh, okay, yes, dear.
Yeah. You bullied me
You get
into
bullied
it.
into it. Yeah,
I think I got bullied in marriage.
I'm telling. I did. Mine was an ultimatum. No,
It's the
seriously.
truth.
I believe it because
Yeah.
my wife, you know, ex-wife, beautiful, and you know we were dating long distance, and then it was kind of an ultimatum. Like, okay, I want to move to L.A. I'm like, well, I can't move to L.A. without a commitment, you know. I was like, yeah, kind of right. So I proposed to her, and you know, on the Tonight Show, and so she moved to L.A. So I kind of got
You
bullied
proposed
into
to
it.
her on the Tonight Show?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
June 6, 2001.
Yeah.
Lakers, Philly game 1 when
got a
Tyronn Lue got
Rain
stuck
I was
Man
on
gonna say,
memory,
you got a
man.
great memory,
You
dude.
have a Rain Man memory. You're like, Janet Jackson's titties, November 9th.
1992.
What the fuck?
Oh, you proposed on the Tonight Show?
Yeah, at the time I had, what movie was coming out? I was in Life.
Okay.
Oh
yeah,
God,
yeah.
that was a
Movie Life
great
was
move.
coming out.
My God,
And I was on there, and you
one of
know,
the most stacked casts of
man,
all time.
I don't know. Harlem Nights was pretty.
Well, that one too.
yeah, yeah.
that
But
was pretty stacked too.
yeah.
But yeah. So she was living in St. Louis, and you know, she know I was a big Laker fan. She knew I was friends with Shaq and Kobe and all that crap. So I was gonna propose to her, and I had to get her to L.A. So I called her boss and said, hey, look, I'm gonna propose to Monica. Can you please just let her off? She doesn't know it, but you know. She said, fine, no problem. I called, you know, her mom, said, hey, is it okay if can I marry your daughters? And mom was like, yeah, cool, no problem. So then I told her at the time, I said, look, I got courtside seats to Lakers Philly, game 1. Now she's an AI fan, Allen Iverson. I'm a Laker fan. So I said, I got courtside seats, you gotta be on the next flight out and come in here. I said, I taped the Tonight Show. Tonight Show tapes at 5:00 in the day. I said, game's at 7:30. I'm going to take this night show, take a limo straight to the game, right? So, cool. Got her out there. Bam. I told NBC what I was going to do. I had to make this big-ass fake rock and put it behind the couch, and Kirsten Dunst was on the show at the same time.
Oh, wow.
And we started talking about Kobe and how Kobe became a better player because when he got married, it made him better. He started sharing the ball more. He said, do you have any special ladies in your life? I said, yeah. And she was sitting in the audience with my publicist, and I said, look, sweetheart, you changed my life, made me a better man. I found the biggest rock to tell you I love you. So I go behind the couch and pull out this big ass boulder.
Yeah.
But I had a real ring, a real rock. And and then it's funny because I didn't have tickets to game 1. I had tickets to game 2. They weren't courtside. It was maybe 12 rows up. And so we after the show, I was like, go home and celebrate. She's like, That means you're not going to the game? Like, what the fuck? And then, so we go to the game. I was pissed off because we lost game 1, and she's cheering for the Sixers. So then we get tickets for game 2, right? And I got the tickets from Jeannie Buss, who's the son of Jerry Buss, the owners of the Lakers.
Oh, there you
who's
go,
president of the Lakers right now. So she gave me tickets. We're sitting there, and we lost game 1, and we're sitting there in Laker Row with all the, because tickets came from the Lakers, and she's cheering for AI. And I'm like, yo, how you cheering for the answer after I popped the question? So it was like, yo, I should have known right there, the red flag, we ain't going to make it.
Speaking of the Lakers, what do you think about AD coming to Lakers?
I like that, man. I like that we got Angry Bird now. He look like Angry Bird, don't he? Unibrow, like Angry Bird.
In the game, I'm big into sports gambling, and in the gambling world, everybody's talking about betting on against the Lakers from winning the championship. And that's like the new hot take. Is like put your money down. You can get at like minus 350, 380 or something like that, because they think the hype has caused the odds.
Because it was hype last year.
Yeah,
remember? And so now the smart thing probably is to do bet against them, because we still. I think a couple of players away, and I don't think I know they're looking at Kyrie Irving and Kemba Walker, but I don't think. Let's say this: Kawhi Leonard, proved that you don't need a big 3 to win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know Golden State had injury problems, stuff like that, but they still won a gang of games during the season, even if it was the East, with a big 1. They didn't really have a big 3. So,
but the rest of the team was pretty solid.
But that's what I mean. You don't need all these big ass names. Just get the right people and with the right chemistry and the right coach. You people are going after names, of course, to put asses in the seat, but I mean, come on.
You think that LeBron theory of getting big 3 to win championships is kind of like a little dated now?
I think it is dated. I think it was a fad, and I think you just need to. I kind of hate that we. I wanted to really keep other players that we had. Like all our number ones that are balling out right now. Ingram was going to ball out. He was a number 1. He was a good number 1 pick for us. D'Angelo Russell, who balled out in Brooklyn last year. You got Kuzma, who was coming around. I like Kuzma. I mean not Kuzma. Lonzo Ball, who was coming around. It got Julius Randle, who was doing well. I mean, we got some top players. I think if that nucleus would have stayed together, I think in a couple of years we could have been patient enough to where we could have been making a little bit of noise.
Because there are trends. It's just like the NFL, right? Where you got trends of remember when the Wildcat was like...
Yeah, the Wildcat.
Everybody, Wildcat.
West Coast offense, Wildcat.
And it's like, where's that now?
Where's that now?
Yeah, it used to be mobile quarterbacks that's the future. And then they all get hurt. They're like,
it seems like you're right. There are trends, but I know that those of us locally, I'm kind of getting back into the Magic just because we made the playoffs this season.
Right.
But we don't really we got nobody.
Right.
We just have guys that play well together and did better than the
and that's what it's all about.
All you can ask for.
Guy, how much are Laker court seats? Courtside?
I don't know. I don't pay for them, but I've seen the tickets. Like I get the tickets through people who
you got the hookup. But I'm saying if someone
they can go from anywhere from maybe, I'll say, depending on the game, maybe from $2,500 to $11,000.
Wow. Per seat, right?
Yeah.
Is that we're gonna do that when we're
no,
God.
it's just
September. They won't be playing.
Do they have to vet you?
I want some sort of.
You can go to a Rams game.
Yeah, let's go to a Rams game.
Well, because
I want 50-yard line,
and not just anybody can buy them, right? Because they have to use some sort of vetting.
Well, most of them are season tickets holders.
Okay.
Some of them, I guess, they keep back. Some of them resell their ticket. Like if you're not going to the game, you put your ticket on StubHub or whatever and resell it. Or just sell it to somebody. Like I live in a condo downtown L.A., and we're a couple of blocks from the Staples Center. So a lot of the condo owners have season tickets to Lakers, Clippers, L.A. Kings.
And you all communicate.
And the concierge will send an email. Hey, so and so got Laker tickets for sale. Section so and so, seat so and so. Whoever wants them. Or sometimes they just say, hey, they're giving these tickets away. Anybody first one responds gets them. So it depends. One lady, this happened. This is so funny. This happened a few months ago. I was in December. It was January. I was shopping for a suit for my 50th birthday party.
Yeah.
And my stylist, we were walking. We was in Santa Monica, and on those little scooters, the motor scooters.
Oh, like the little lime scooters?
Yeah. There
we're
was
getting
an
those.
envelope taped down there and that says "You're welcome," right? And I was like, "What's the envelope?" And we pick it up, and someone had left 4 Clipper tickets to a game that was happening like at that evening. 4 Clipper tickets and a parking pass. And it must have been a doctor because it was in a stationery, had Dr. So-and-so on it.
No
and
shit.
somebody just left there and say, hey, this. I guess they were a season
God.
ticket holder, didn't want the tickets to go to waste,
Yeah.
and just left them on the scooter for someone to pick them up as a gift. And, it was like, you're
That's
welcome.
cool.
God damn.
And, yeah, so sometimes it's like
Doesn't
that.
have social media or anything like old school.
You got any friends? You be Dr. Asshole. You got that guy got no friends.
No,
No.
you got some patience. Give it to the cancer one.
Sometimes last minute.
You can't go.
Sometimes last minute, it's
Yeah,
hard.
yeah.
Yeah, it's last minute. Sometimes it's like, yo, what can I do? Oh, you know what? Boom. Or sometimes you just want to do charity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
just,
Although I
Tom doesn't understand. He didn't.
I wanna-
you said sometimes you just do charity.
I want to
don't know what that
see.
is.
I want the person to go thank me.
Yeah.
Well,
Suck my dick.
I'm sure they did because that's why they wrapped it in their stationery.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't
It
completely
was like
anonymous.
Doctor so and so.
He could have done computer paper, but what did he do? He did his stationery.
Exactly.
All right,
Yeah.
It was. I think it was a female doctor, Indian,
Mm.
sound Indianish, like no, dot the woo woo woo.
Mm.
So it was wrapped in that. So evidently they wanted you to reach out and say thank you, whatever.
Yeah, we call it IT, not TP.
Yeah.
That's
I
right.
do.
Like that.
Yeah, we do say that.
I go ooh, 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 ooh.
All right, we started inspirational and with racism.
I love it. I think that's a perfect way out.
Racism is common.
2 shows tonight, 2 shows tomorrow. Get your tickets, please. And by the way that our Twitch chat room, they love you.
Oh,
And
wow.
I think you're gonna
Hey,
have a
Twitch.
lot of folks out there. They love seeing you, and we love having you in, man.
I
Thank
love
you as
being here,
always.
man.
We appreciate it. If when we're out in September, we'll try to hit you up.
I'll be there that week, man.
Yeah,
because
whoa.
since I won't be here.
We'll
Yeah,
be around.
yeah.
We want to try to go to the Comedy Store and actually, if they would allow, because I know they have space and stuff like that. We don't want to get in the way, but that's a big story to tell.
Right.
I'd like to talk to somebody from the store. I know Tom's going to try and hit up.
Yeah.
Paulie's always.
Well, they probably will because they're shooting the documentary.
yeah.
I mean, and they it's publicity.
It'd be cool to just go
Yeah,
out
just
there.
do a podcast and talk to someone, because there's a rich history.
They
there.
have they do a podcast from it, right? You know that already.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They have a studio.
Yeah.
And Laugh Factory has one too.
That's smart that they're doing that. 'cause
Of
Yeah.
course, yeah.
It's only getting bigger. Plug your podcast.
I have 2 podcasts right now. One is called Third Degree Radio on Dash Radio. You have to go to your store and download the Dash app. It's free. And Third Degree Radio, it's on the Native Rhymes channel. It's a hip hop show. Me and Big Trady from the East Side of Snoop's first rap group.
Sweet.
And Cognac the XO and DJ Sell from Dog Pound. And my other podcast is one I created called 31 Cents. It's me and 3 ladies, so it's 3 dimes and a penny because I ain't worth shit. And same thing, that's on Dash Radio as well, but it's on a Talk X channel. We're going to soon start putting up on YouTube and
Nice.
and other social media streams. Right now it's just on Dash. And but yeah, please follow the shows. And 31 Cents is THIRTY, the number 1 Cents, CNTS show. And then me, Guy Torry, at GUYTORRY. And come out tonight to the Improv or tomorrow night. Great show. Ladies, bring your man out for a chance. Take your man on a date. Or fellas, take your wife on a date, or your girlfriend, or your side piece, or your jump off, or your mistress. You can even bring your mama. Just bring to my show this weekend
Yeah.
at the Improv Orlando Point.
There you go.
Well, thanks, Guy. We'll next time, we'll see you, and we'll.
I see you in
talk to
LA, man.
Yeah.
We're going to have a beer or something together.
I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah,
That'd be
we'll hit you
awesome.
up.
Well,
No.
we got mobile equipment, so we'll just bring it along.
I don't even know if you have my personal number. I think I just, get booked through.
Yeah.
we'll same
get
numbers.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I emailed you some podcasting stuff before, so I have your email, but we'll work it
not
out.
phone number, man. I don't read my email.
Okay. Probably correct. Guys, we'll see you later today for the Friday Free Show.